Welcome to St. Petersburg Together. I'm your host, Janice Ford. Every year, thousands of volunteers come together in St. Petersburg to help clean up the city. CareFest is a way for everyone to be caretagious. Joining us now to talk about the annual event is Pastor Chris Hall, co-chair of CareFest, Aubrey Shager Haley, a neighborhood specialist with the city's Community Services Department, and Leda Cadiz from Somebody Cares Tampa Bay. Thank you all for joining us here. And what is CareFest?
CareFest is our annual event. It's our compassion-related and activities that culminate over the beginning of the week, and it ends with a day of activity services within the entire city of St. Pete, and it's a give back to our community.
Okay. When and where is it?
Well, it's going to kick off at Lake Vista Park, and that's located at 1401 16th Avenue South, and it's going to start at 7:30 in the morning, and what we're going to do is have a big kickoff send-off, so
and breakfast.
And breakfast, of course. We're going to feed you.
Okay.
And so we're going to have a kickoff, and all of our volunteer groups are going to be able to come in and get ready, get fueled, and get going. And from there, they're going to launch off into all of their different areas and throughout all of the city. And then they'll be able to come back to the same place at Lake Vista Park for recognition. And it's September 28th.
Okay. Leda, how is Somebody Cares Tampa Bay involved in all of this?
Well, Somebody Cares Tampa Bay started this program many years ago, and it's been going strong with cities involved, like the city of St. Pete, for many, many years. And we have seen a great success of partnerships amongst businesses, ministries, churches, and cities and government officials to make this event successful. The city of St. Petersburg have won the Care Trophy Cup for the last 5 years.
And it's not going anywhere.
Yes, we had a meeting here on May with Mayor Bill Foster, and he did say that. He said the Care Cup is going to stay here, and it's given to the city that has completed the most projects of CareFest, which helps citizens to we do minor home repairs, which may include cleaning backyards, cleaning their homes for the elderly, helping those that are veterans, disabled. And Chris has been very involved here with St. Pete Vineyard Church and his members for many years.
Yeah. Chris, how long have you been directly involved with
I've been involved for a few years, several years, more from a leadership position within the last, I think, 3 years now.
Okay. And your church, has that been one of the lead churches that's been involved, or?
The St. Pete Vineyard has been involved, but there are other churches that have sent far more volunteers than we do. We can't quite compete with some of the other ones that do send, the hundreds in the
Yes.
area. Some of them are 100 or more, so we don't quite, compete on that level. But it's a teamwork thing. That's the thing that I love most about CareFest, that it is churches and schools and businesses and the government agencies, everyone who has ownership, who has pride in their city, who loves their city, coming together. They may wear T-shirts or fly a particular type of flag, but at the end of the day, we all come here as St. Pete citizens who love St. Petersburg and want to serve the city and serve the people of the city, and that's what I love about it the most.
Right. Now, this is a wonderful event, and I love being involved with this event, and I have been for several years. However, last year I was not undergoing a knee problem, so I wasn't involved as I'm usually involved, and I look forward to it this year. where do you get your volunteers and how are they recruited?
Well, we're trying to get the word out now. We have a lot of repeat volunteers, which makes it really nice. So we don't always feel like we have to start from ground zero, start from scratch every year. So it makes it nice. We're so appreciative of our repeat volunteers. People are already calling and saying, save us a project, put us on the list. And the specific numbers they don't always have, but when the groups and the leadership of those groups commit to it, it makes it really nice. But we are constantly looking for new volunteers, and that's part of why we're here today, and it's part of why we send out flyers and try to tag social media and things like that to get the word out, is to say we are still actively looking for volunteers to adopt projects, help us set up or clean up or do the prep work leading up to the event. So
Now, last year I think you all had about 1,300 volunteers, and that's a lot of people. And like you say, there are huge groups of different organizations that volunteer, and they adopt maybe one or two projects because there's so many of them. What type of projects do you all have this year? Do you know about any of those type projects you can speak of right now?
Well, we're going to focus again on neighborhoods, cleaning. We will have painting projects. We do look and encourage people, if they know of something, they know of an area, a focus area that they know of, they're not quite sure if it's something that is eligible for the project, by all means to please contact us. They can send the project at ICAN, it's simple, ICAN, at stpete.org, and that's ICAN, ICAN, at stpete, STPETE.org. And that's a way that we can evaluate the project, determine whether or not that's something that we can do. And that way, if it's a neighborhood cleanup or painting a house or just some light renovation on a home that needs to be done for the elderly or for someone who's just not able to take care of their home for whatever reason, we can go out and evaluate the project and see if that's something that we can take care of.
Okay, because that was something that that I was going to ask. I mean, just everybody just don't qualify for one of these projects. There are certain criteria, right? Because I know that you work with the elderly a lot, someone who's can't.
Yeah, and there's a process for that in terms of who, what projects are eligible to be listed as a project. But the great thing about it is that the city, with Mayor Foster's support of this and Somebody Cares Tampa Bay coming together, they do a phenomenal job of organizing it, researching it. And the great thing about this project is no matter who wants to sign up, if you have a lot of people and you have too many people for one particular project, you can adopt more. Or if you only have a few people, they will team you up with another group. If you have very high skilled labor people, they can take on a roof replacement or putting in a fence or light construction, like she said. And if you're just, it could be something as simple as picking up trash or spreading mulch, that most anyone can do. And so the projects really vary for all different numbers, in terms of sizes of group as well as skill levels.
And so that, I think we need to put this out there so people will know that, we're not just sending someone who's unskilled. If you have to put in a ramp or if you need a new roof, just someone who doesn't have any experience is not out there trying to put on a roof or build a ramp. And those are the people who, say an individual that's not associated with a group or a church or what have you, and they want to volunteer. Those volunteers still are they able to volunteer?
We will find a place for everyone, absolutely.
So they'll be assigned with someone who's doing a project. I mean, it's not like, because you're not with a group or a church that you can't volunteer. You can. There is an opportunity for those people to volunteer.
Absolutely. And something that you brought up, actually, Janice, with your knee, one of the things that we're actually looking at is things that aren't labor intensive. One of the things that has just come recently is a group from Tyler, Texas came and they sang at numerous area of locations. I believe it was a total of 9 when the group finally did leave. And that brought a very big sense of our community, a commitment of giving back. And the residents in St. Pete, one of the things that they said over and over again was that they really felt a connection of people coming, spending time with them, and just giving back to the community. And so for groups in the area that feel, I can't mulch, I can't paint, I can't, that's not something that I'm going to be able to do. But to go to our nursing homes, our area hospitals, things like that, places like that, and sing. That is a connection that you can make and give back to our community that isn't painting, isn't labor intensive in that regard, but coming from your heart.
Okay.
So that's an opportunity. Also, there are people that are great knitters. I myself am not going to be one of those people.
Just like I can't sing.
So if you can't sing, but maybe you can knit, there's an opportunity because the area hospitals are always looking for baby blankets or things that can be left for the area hospitals for mothers to have for their babies. So there are a lot of different opportunities that are kind of that out of the box give that allows people to participate in this wonderful day of giving and being a part of the community that isn't necessarily backbreaking.
Yes.
So for those who don't see themselves sweating and that's not their cup of tea,
Yes, there's a lot of folks out there.
we want them to be able to take part in this as well.
Okay. For those folks who can't volunteer, but they want to give a donation, do you accept donations? I know funding is always something that's big on different projects, and I know it takes a lot because you all are doing things for the volunteers as far as providing them with breakfast and lunch. So what about donations?
Absolutely. Donations and sponsorships and supplies. We mentioned painting, we mentioned some ramps. Donations and sponsors, supplies, that is really the heart of CareFest. And so we are always in need of all of the above. So any group, companies, any of that is interested, please by all means contact us. We're always welcoming all sorts of gifts. So if a company wants to, by all means, they can contact us at 727-892-5141. The number again is 727-892-5141. They can email us at ican@stpete.org. And they can contact us through our CareFest website as well. So there are various means to contact us and let us know what it is their interest of participating in CareFest is.
Okay. Now we are also going to be running some of the information, contact information on the screen so people can also see that. We also have some photos from last year's CareFest. That's always good to see. And people can go on as they're watching the show and see those pictures to see what type of projects that people were involved in. Now we've been talking about the sponsors and donations and what have you. Chris, can you tell us who some of those partners that we had from last year?
Well, I know, Home Depot has been a great sponsor. Sweet Bay has, some groups like Home Depot will take on like an entire project.
Right.
They've done like an outdoor learning center at Thorogood Marshall one year, and Sweet Bay has supplied much in the way of food. Chick-fil-A almost always shows up for either breakfast and or lunch at times, and we have groups that'll donate cases and cases, truckloads of water and produce, and so the list just goes on and on and on in terms of, and that's why we'll obviously you want to donate as a company, like sponsor a big project, or you just want to donate some cases of water or some paint or things like that. It's from big to small. We can find a place for it. Yeah.
Okay, great. What if a person doesn't have a computer and they can't go online? Who do they call?
They can call again the City of St. Pete at our number 892-5441.
And that is to Community Services
Our
Department?
Community Services Department, and that right there will help them either if they want to submit a project, if they want to volunteer for a project, if they want to donate anything. That's the direct connection for us.
Okay, the CareFest, how does this relate to Mayor Foster's I Can campaign?
Mayor Foster is completely aligned with citizen improvement. One of his big volunteer efforts is how can we improve the city, what can we do for our citizens, and increase the resources within the community between our community partners and allow our citizens to be involved. And with CareFest, it's not only giving back to the community, but having our citizens involved to do so. So our I Can initiative is all about community improvements, but having the citizens take a part in that. So CareFest is completely aligned with that.
I'll add too that I work with Somebody Cares Tampa Bay quite a bit, and as one of the pastors in the city, and I think it's important to know that CareFest is one day out of the year. But more than that, it's really trying to create, like what Mayor Foster has also been, trying to communicate. It's trying to create a culture of giving, a culture of serving, a culture of, 24/7, 52 weeks out of the year. If you see a need in your neighborhood, if you see a need with a neighbor, knock on their door or ask them, hey, can you help with something? Right. Get a church group, get a school group. And we have students that use a lot of their volunteer hours. Every school almost, I think, has volunteer hour requirements. And we have lots of the area schools that will use this as an opportunity, for this one time out of the year. But even as the students are encouraged, you should be serving and volunteering throughout the year. And the I Can initiative fits together really nicely with what Daniel Bernard and Somebody Cares Tampa Bay has been promoting as well, and I think probably most churches do as well.
Right.
It's, look for needs and meet those needs.
Well, it's interesting that you said about schools, because a lot of them are making that a requirement in their curriculum for kids before they graduate from high school. They have to have so many volunteer hours, and I think that's a wonderful thing, whether they are volunteering with CareFest or some other agency. I think it's great for kids to learn to give back to the community, and that's one way of doing it.
And it's good to keep them busy and out of trouble.
Exactly.
And we can see the benefits in the community of the businesses that they get because of the response to CareFest projects. We see how businesses, the community is going to say, hey, this is the store, I'm going to go and be their client, because they care about the community. They're involved in helping these people remodel their homes or fix all these repairs that they need, because we get so many phone calls of people even crying on the phone because their floor is collapsing.
Right.
They have their bathrooms, showers, or things that are basic necessities that they need help with. And we also see how the volunteers receive personal satisfaction, how they help these people, that they feel that they're helping, that they're contributing, they create a bond. And we encourage corporations or businesses for their employees to get together, to become volunteers. It creates a bonding. A lot of people feel not satisfied with their jobs today. That's a statistically accurate information. However, if they get involved with projects like this, like CareFest, you're going to see a bonding, you're going to see a purpose, and it's going to create a much better atmosphere and environment to work in when people get together.
Right.
It builds relationships.
Right, and that's always great, because this is a project that people take on for the day, but to see the beginning and the end of a project, that really feels good to a lot of people. It's that feel good, warm and fuzzy thing that we want every once in a while.
Yes,
Now, Somebody Cares Tampa Bay is involved in not only this St. Petersburg's CareFest, but you all have CareFest in other cities as well, correct?
Correct. We're going to have the one in Clearwater is going to be at Ross Norton Park, and we're going to have the one in Tampa at Rolette Park, another one in Plant City and Safety Harbor, and different cities throughout Tampa Bay area.
Okay. Have you had, since this has been going on, have you had other cities that have contacted Somebody Cares Tampa Bay and say, okay, we want to do one of these CareFest things too? I mean, we hear about it happening in Tampa and Clearwater and in St. Petersburg. It's continuously won the cup, and we want to do that too. So do you have new cities coming on board?
Well, we have cities that are already involved with, like St. Augustine and Fort Myers, and we're encouraging, I just contacted someone yesterday in Fort Myers to continue and grow CareFest in their area. So that happens all the time, and people can visit our website at carefestusa.com. Again, that's carefestusa.com, and they can see there even forms also to help the city with people that might want to volunteer, and they can submit a form to volunteer as well.
Well, that's good information to know, and to know that this is happening all over with communities and trying to give back and help people who are less fortunate or who can't get out and do some of the things for themselves. And I know that, how many ramps have you guys built? But that seems to be something that's on the list every year, you know, to, you know, one of the things that I got out of it, I know that, you know, I used to be the Weed and Seed coordinator, and one of the things that we did was we provided funding for one of the outdoor classrooms. And to see that happen and be a part of that, it was really a wonderful thing. And it's something that is going to always be there, you know, for students to utilize. So, you know, I really got a kick out of that. And, you know, seeing some of the other projects that has been going on, especially, I know that whenever I was involved with CareFest, I used to try and get projects in the Midtown and Childs Park area. And I know they've done things at Woodson Museum and Boys and Girls Club, the Royal Theater on 22nd Street. You know, so those were some of the really interesting projects that I got an opportunity to work with. So, you know,
This is a great opportunity for, like I said, churches to look for projects in their own neighborhood, to build some relationships with their neighbors, for neighborhood associations.
Right.
If you know, part of your neighborhood association or you're a member of your neighborhood association, get in touch with them and just find out who is in the area that needs help. And if you need help, you can identify a project but can't necessarily meet the needs of the project, contact us, and then we can, you know, work together and figure out ways to get some of these done. And it improves the city. I mean, if there's an eyesore property, if there's a school that has a, you know, a fence that's, you know, dilapidated or whatever the situation is, you know, we want to improve the looks of our city, improve the quality of life of our citizens. Somebody's that's in need, who's you know, needs some assistance in whatever way, you know, let us, you know, run it by us and let us see what we can do.
Okay. Now, I know that you've painted lots of houses. And, you know, there's some prep work that goes into painting a house. You just can't go out there and start slapping on the paint. Tell us a little bit about that. Who preps those projects?
We do work in connection with our neighborhood team, also known as our N team. And so we do go ahead, it's part of our preparation. We establish, obviously, that they qualify and go through that process first. And from there, our neighborhood team does go out and they do prep the house. Whether it's taping the windows and pressure washing it, you know, making sure that it's safe going around, you know, protecting anything that needs to be protected, and then, you know, sealing windows, things like that, to make it easier. The idea, again, as you've mentioned, when you leave that particular home, that there's a sense of accomplishment. You don't want to leave and feel like, well, we got done with half the house. You know, hopefully the homeowner will be able to finish.
Next year we're gonna get the other half.
So, you know, that's the big thing, is we want to make sure that there's that sense of accomplishment and that it was an accomplishable task.
And we were able to do a video training for evaluators. So they go ahead of time and they set up an appointment with the homeowner and they look at the home, the project scope, and then they determine what are the tools needed, how many people in the team to get this job accomplished on CareFest Day. But CareFest also happens throughout the year. On Saturday, September 28th, will be the culmination of CareFest.
Right.
But we have activities going on all year round, and Caretagious churches, like most recently here on July in St. Petersburg, Bristol Temple, Frontline Ministries, they had a healthcare fair day, and there were foods or bags given, and health screening, free health screening for the community. So that is this CareFest and beyond.
Right. And, you know, and I think that's very important that you mention that, because this is not just a one-day event. Like you said, it's going on throughout the year. And we do encourage people to volunteer for these projects. And it's not just, like I said, on September 28th that you can come out and do that, but, you know, do it all the time. And again, tell us that date, when, where.
That will be Saturday, September 28th at Lake Vista Park, and the kickoff starts at 7:30 a.m. And at that point, they'll receive the projects, they'll leave with their team leads, and after they complete the projects, they'll come back to Lake Vista Park at noon for celebrations, some
Free
wonderful
lunch.
lunch and music.
Recognition, a photo op with the mayor and their certificate.
And their certificates,
yeah.
right? And you have, sometimes you have entertainment
Yeah,
there?
we'll probably have some bounce houses and things like that. The the city will provide some of those, and we have again a fantastic team that really puts together some. Like I said, we have some entertainment, some music, and different things to kind of keep you moving. Most people don't want to hang out too long. They're a
Yeah.
little sweaty, a little dirty, a little gross, but it's worth coming out for a nice meal, a little bit of. I mean, we don't keep anybody long, and certainly we don't hold anybody there. They can leave whenever they want. But the idea is to, like I said, have celebrate a meal together, get your picture with the mayor if you want that, your certificate, and be on your way. Probably go home and watch some college football or something.
Yes. Okay, thank you again for joining us. And again, here is the information about CareFest and how you can be a Caretagious participant for this year. So thank you again.